1. The Spaceship.
Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, sang Harry in a loud, cheerful voice. He pushed his hat back onto the back of his head and sang again, Happy birthday, dear Harry, happy birthday to me. Police Constable 5601 Harry Evans was driving back to the police station along the country roads of West Yorkshire. He was a short, round man with a friendly face and a cheerful smile. People liked him. Harry drove through a small village and continued along the quiet country road. He drove round a corner and stopped. There was something in front of him. Something big, very big. And it wasn't really on the road. It was about 1 meter above the road. It wasn't doing anything. It was just there. A huge, round thing bigger than a bus, about 1 meter above the road. Harry stared. What's this? What's happening here? He thought. What is it? He closed his eyes for a moment. Am I dreaming? He thought. Things like this don't happen. He opened his eyes again. The thing was still there. It was round and silver, wide at the bottom and narrow at the top. The bottom half was moving round very slowly, and now Harry could see lights in it. Yellow, green, blue, now yellow again. They shone like stars. He watched them. He felt very excited. Harry turned his engine off and opened the window. It was raining, but there was no sound. No sound at all. No people, no cars. He turned on his radio. PQ to DC, he said. PQ to DC, come in, please. But the radio did not answer. It did not make a sound. Harry watched the thing carefully. That, he thought, thing very, very strange. Something from another world, perhaps. It's a spaceship, or something like it. I'm going to get out and look at it. But Harry did not get out of the car. He couldn't move. Suddenly he felt very afraid. He put his hand over his eyes. What's the matter with me? He thought. What's happening to me? He stared at the spaceship again. It didn't look dangerous, but perhaps it was. Harry stared. After a few minutes, Harry found his notebook and wrote down the time and place. 5:15 p.m., 1 kilometre outside Little Ashwell on the Castleford Road. Then he drew a careful picture of the spaceship. But how can I draw the lights? He thought. He watched them again. They were changing quickly now. Blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow. They're beautiful, he thought. Like stars. He wasn't afraid now. He was excited. Here I am, he thought. Constable Harry Evans. I'm not important. Why me? I've seen a spaceship. On my birthday, too. I don't understand it. And who's going to believe? The lights changed faster and faster. And then Harry heard something. Somebody's singing, he thought. No, It wasn't singing or music. It was just a soft, quiet sound, and it was very beautiful. Harry smiled. He sat quietly and watched and listened. He felt very happy. He sat there for about 10 minutes. No cars passed, and no people. That's strange, he thought. Usually it's a busy road. Where is everybody? Suddenly, a bright red light shone under the spaceship. Harry put his arm in front of his eyes. The light was too strong. Again, the spaceship was not there. He looked up into the sky and saw a red light. It was moving very fast, much faster than... In 2 seconds, it appeared. Harry suddenly felt very tired and very sad. Got out of the car. It wasn't raining now. Wet from the rain, but in the middle of the road there was a big dry ring. He walked slowly across it. It was 10 meters wide. In the middle there was a small white ring. It was made of white powder. He put some of the powder in a paper bag. Harry stood up. There's a lot of noise now, he thought. He heard a car, and birds, and the sounds of children. A woman with a baby passed him and smiled. "Hello," she said. "Are you still here?" Yes," he said. He did not understand her. He was very tired and sad. I'm sure it was a spaceship, he thought. It wasn't a dream. It was a moment in my life. But why me? And why am I so sad now? I don't understand anything. He got into his car and drove away.
2. Harry's in trouble.
5 minutes later, Harry arrived at the police station and walked into the building. He passed his friend, Constable Jim Deacon. "You're in trouble, Harry," said Jim. "Where have you been? The inspector wants you. Now." Harry hurried to the inspector's office. I mustn't say anything about the spaceship, he thought. Nobody's going to believe me. Inspector Barker stood up when Harry came in. He was a big man with a hard, clever face. He did not smile very often. He was not smiling now. "Where have you been, Evans?" he said. "I wanted you here at 5:30, and it's now 6:30. Why?" 6:30? Harry looked at his watch. He was horrified. What happened? He thought. It was 5:15 when I saw the spaceship. I've lost an hour. He looked at the inspector. Sorry, sir, he said. "Sorry?" shouted the inspector. He was angry now. "That's not good enough, Evans. Why are you late? You went to Castleford about that stolen bicycle, and you left there at 5 o'clock, half an hour's drive from here. Where have you been?" I saw something on the road." The inspector sat down and stared at Harry. "Evans," he said, "I'm a busy man. I can't wait all night. What do you see on the road? A cat?" Harry felt unhappy. He never told lies. All his friends knew that. I say, he thought, it was a spaceship, and I saw it. I'm going to tell him. "Well, sir," he began. He told the inspector everything about the spaceship and showed him his picture. But he forgot about the powder. Inspector Barker put his feet on the table in front of him and looked at Harry. "You saw a spaceship," he said slowly, "on the road to Castleford. And did the little men have green faces?" He smiled, a kind smile. Harry looked hard at the wall above the inspector's head. "I didn't see any little men, sir," he said, "or green faces." "Evans," said the inspector, "this is a police station, and you're a police, not a lay. Go away, and don't tell me a silly story like that again." Later, Harry saw Jim Deacon again. Jim was a good friend. "I heard all that, Harry," he said, "about the spaceship. I was in the next room." "Barker didn't believe me," said Harry sadly. "I'm not surprised. People don't usually see spaceships on the road to Castleford. But I did. Today." "Well, I believe you, I think," said Jim. "Strange things can happen. I haven't forgotten that story about—" "This was—" said Harry. "It was—" He stopped. He remembered the lights. And the music. No, it wasn't music. What was it? He felt sad again. Then he remembered the powder. He told him about the powder and showed him the paper bag. Jim was in. "Why don't we send this down to the laboratory?" he said. "We don't have to tell Barker about it. I can take it down there tomorrow." "Yes, all right," said Harry. "Perhaps the scientists can tell us something about it. Barker has to believe them."